Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree. This is for Pentecost Sunday, and boy, I walked through the aisles of the Dollar Tree, and I've got items galore. So there's so many ways we can go on this, and it's all about the Spirit. It's about noticing how the Spirit is our helper, and the Spirit helps us here, and the Spirit moves us into the world, and that there's so many things around us that remind us of the Spirit. So items galore. The first item I'm looking at, the Advocate. I'm going to give you a helper, and I've used this before, but I still love it. It's this. It's a helper. This idea that you can. It helps you grab things. You know, it's a helper, and how we are given the helper in the Advocate to help us reach out into the world and be the hands of Christ and this helper and the Spirit. And I love that image that we are that helper. So that's the first item about being a helper. The second is a pair of earbuds. Now, you could either do the earbuds, or you could get from Harbor Freight or Walmart or Fred Meyer's or Kroger's earplugs. And the idea is that when I'm reading this text, not only do the gift of the Spirit is that, you know, we talk about how people are speaking in other languages that are not their own, but also we hear in there that people are able to hear in their own languages. And I love this idea of the Spirit gives us the ability or the gift to hear other people. So, looking at, we got the earbuds that you can put them in, and you know, we all know that there's times where we got the earbuds in and you can't hear a thing. You know, you're listening to your own thing. But that you have them in, but they're unplugged. They're unplugged, so not only can I not hear other people, but I can't even hear the music that I've got this supposedly plugged into. And the idea that the Spirit does two things. One, helps us remove the earplugs, help us move so we can hear people, but also this idea that the Spirit plugs us into this life source, plugs us in. I wouldn't use that language, life source, but you know what I mean. The plugs us in to where we can hear others. We just had our Synod Assembly, and at the Synod Assembly, we had translators. We had a couple of folks that translated translated what was said into Spanish. So those who were Spanish-speaking delegates that were there were able to take part in this wonderful. It was a gift of the Spirit, and I love how we can take part in that. So, direction here, that the Spirit gives us ears to hear and also unblocks our ears so that we can hear others better, more clearly. So, helper, the earbuds. And then the other two items, there's three items, and they all have to do with this idea of being able to see the Spirit at work. And I see that when we do a top, or so this here, it's a light up spinner where you can do it and you spin it and it goes off, and you have that action and this idea that seeing, when we're looking at the Spirit, and especially in the text as the wind and the Spirit moves over the waters and there's action and stuff happens like that. So there's that. That just speaks for itself. Which the other item around that is this here, a pinwheel, and it was great. I got this at the Dollar Tree, and I was wondering when I was in there. I went to spin it, and I was kind of like this, and it wasn't really spinning well. And I walked out from there to the car, and this thing took off. The wind was just barely catching it, and it was like, whoo. And so when I think about this, I think about all of the ways that I notice the wind blowing, whether that be a weather vane that gets pulled one way or the other, whether that be a pinwheel, whether that be my hair getting messed up. All these ways that I see that the wind is active. And we talk a lot about, in the gift of baptism, we talk about how the rain and taking a shower or a bath or washing our faces, all that, how the gift of water reminds us of the gift of baptism that God has claimed us. So why not bring that into play with the gift of the wind, and about how all of the ways we see the wind, even our own breath and our own talking, can remind us of the Spirit, remind us that God is at work in and around us. So maybe using the windmill or a kite, things like that. So there's that. And then the third thing is just silly and complete fun, but it's about how the Spirit sends us out into the world, and that is the fling shot chicken. Because there's sometimes I'm chicken and I don't want to go out into the world, but the Spirit sends us here. The Spirit sends us into the world. So there we go. Lots of different ideas that we can, I hope we get to. I'm hoping this can be, instead of a springboard, hoping it can be a spring chick. Oh, that was lame. Let's try that again. Hopefully this can be a springboard, spring chicken, for your own children's sermon. All right, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a fantastic week.